Judd is extremely motivated today, so we're going to give him some motivation. If Judd doesn't say the right word, I'm not going to tell him what the word is, then I'll murder his dog.
I know it's not going to be the right word, but I know what word I'm going to say.
Oh, no! No, don't do it! Well, it looks like... for the video watchers of this podcast on YouTube, on the Games Badly YouTube channel, or on twitch.tv/GamesBadly, my camera is going to be stuttering for no reason. But who cares? It's mostly a podcast, not a smooth, buttery video cast. Although, if you are watching the smooth, buttery video cast version, which is what I'm going to call it from now on, you can see that I'm wearing a fire-ass shirt, actually. It's actually pretty sweet. Part of the childish TGF collection. Anyway, that's enough of that. How you been doing, Judd? It's been a week since the last podcast. Just like always.
Now, have you not done like the intro music or do you edit
Yeah,
that
I already
in?
did. I already did that while you were just sat there staring into the abyss. I thought, well,
right,
he's in a trance of hating himself and everything around him. I may as well start the intro music now.
Yeah. No, the only thing I've done is I downloaded a new game that I've been a bit obsessed with. I finished off all the DLC for Borderlands 3.
Wow, okay. That was quick. In a week?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We'll get to the booking. Don't worry about that yet.
The tattoo booking?
No, before you ask Spaz, you already spoiled
the
that
tattoo
straight.
booking where I came in. No.
You are so stupid.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? Because I've got a plethora of topics today.
Oh,
that are all
I've got a few topics.
Super interesting.
Well, I guess I'll start. Well, I guess we'll start bad and then get better. How about that?
Yeah.
Just start with the shittiest topics, so that then people have to stick around to listen to the good stuff.
Is your dog dead?
Yeah.
Is she actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not a joke. It's actually very, very sad.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, it is. It is true.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It genuinely is it's really sad. I don't want to act sad on the podcast necessarily because that's not fun to listen to at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really fucking shit. It was awful because she don't worry, it's not going to be a complete sad podcast. It's fine. But I thought because I mentioned it last week.
No.
Why not? Because I mentioned it last week, I thought, I may as well sort of tell you what happened. It was kind of it was just all really sudden, pretty much, which is kind of one of the reasons why it was so sad, because she was fine at the start of the week. This was last week, by the way. It was Friday when she had to be put down, essentially. And then she were only in the vets Wednesday, Thursday, so even Monday, Tuesday of that week, yeah, she was completely fine, and yeah, it's just a bit shocking, really. The main problem was that she was in just a lot of pain. She was howling, and she doesn't do that. She does not do that. Normally, her response to pain is to just kind of do nothing and shiver. So the fact that she was in so much pain that she was howling out, it was just so much, and they couldn't really figure out what the proper cause was. So they were we can't leave her in this amount of pain until we figure it out, because there's no way we could figure it out in time, for it to be worth it going through all of that. So yeah, it was really, really awful. And we had to pick my sister up from her school, and obviously she was not happy. She'd only been there as in classes had not even started. She'd barely been there, and it was weird because I was still in bed. I've been getting up at about 8:30, because obviously when I'm working from home, I can get up at 8:30, slap some clothes on, and then just start working at 9 o'clock. And I had my alarm at 8:30, and my door was just knocked on, and my mum opened the door and kind of told me, what the deal was. But I was because I was like fully asleep at that point, I woke up and I was just like flopping around, like not knowing where I was. I was like, if anyone's ever woken me up while I've been in a deep sleep, they'll know that I was just like.
You just turn around to a punch.
Well, I was more like just kind of floundering over towards her because I must have looked like a zombie. I was trying to just like give her a hug. But because I didn't really know where I was or where she was, I was kind of just going all the way over to her.
Just walking into a wall.
So, well, yeah, I guess that's it. It was kind of good that we could all be with the dog anyway, be with Betty while it all went down. But it was weird because she was like she was quite out of it. Hi, Stefani has joined. Hello. Just talking about my dead dog. Not a great time to join in. But she was like so out of energy that she was like just picked up and she were on this like table, essentially, and she was just laid there, literally, mouth slightly open with her tongue out. Like comically when someone's dead, they have their tongue out. It was like that, but she wasn't. She was still alive at this point. Where are you from? We are from England. Hello. North of England. And we were just... She was excited to see us, but, like, because she had no energy, all she could do was, like, try and wag her tail, but it just weren't even wagging. It was just kind of moving a bit. Yeah. So, yeah, it was bad. We got to see what we wanted. And the vet lady asked, like, whether we've... gone through anything like this before, if we've ever been around while this happened. And only my mum had, none of the rest of us had, so she kind of explained some things that might happen, like, physically. So she said, like, she might puff up a bit and then do a big breath. She might even wet herself, or, she may or may not close her eyes.
I mean, I'd have to be there, but, like, I don't know, I think that'd fucking destroy me.
I thought it would be a bit more traumatizing than it actually was, to be honest. But that's kind of just me, and I'm a big autism. So that's not even a joke either. It's hard to determine what's jokes and what's not on this a little bit, isn't it? That's why we have this button. I play that when it's a joke. But
you'll notice how it is not currently being used.
Exactly. In this situation, not being used. So, but it was weird because I thought they were going to, because we were in like, they had the main reception area, then they had these like 3 consultation rooms, like just one door away from that, and then you could go through a door again, and that was where all the like pets would be, like where the vets do their thing essentially, and I thought, right, this is like, we're getting ready for it to happen now. We'll be picking her up and like taking her into a room for him to do it. But nope, she just whipped out this syringe, and I was like, oh shit, okay, it's happening now. And she was literally doing it in this consultation room that was like one door away from reception. You could see into that consultation room from reception if you looked.
So like, people could just look in and just see if. I don't know, not killing, like, putting down your dog.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, they couldn't have. Simon was stood in the way, like we were stood in the way, but it was like, if there weren't many people and they happened to be looking in there, if there happened to be people like looking in, they could have accidentally seen that, and it would have been awful. And so yeah, she just kind of whipped it out, and like I went to hold my sister's hand, like she's not 11, she's 13. I don't even know. I think she's 13.
I think Maddie's 13, so yeah.
Yeah. She's 13.
My sister's 13.
Why do we not know? Yeah, she's 13. She's 13. So I went to like hold her hand, and she was kind of like, she kind of looked at me like, oh, what are you doing? And I had to say to her, it's happening now. And I didn't think she realised it were going to like happen right that quick. I didn't. I was like, oh shit, okay. I thought we were going in a different room or something. So yeah. But
I know, I'm sorry, this is an awful situation, but
you've got to laugh, haven't you? It's like
I love this imagery of this awful scene happening, and you go to hold your sister's hand, and she goes, "What the fuck are you doing, creep?"
No. It was, yeah. But like, nothing happened. She just, like, she didn't close her eyes. She didn't, puff up or piss herself or anything. She just, like, stopped breathing. That was it. And, yeah, very sad. It was such weird foreshadowing, though, because, when we dropped her off at the vets, I'd seen this old woman come out with an empty, like, small pet carrying thing, like, crying. And she'd gone to her car, and her daughter had, like, hugged her and stuff, and obviously had to have her pet put down as well. And it was just, it was awful foreshadowing. It's just not, I don't know. It's not good. It's just don't feel fair, like when, because she was such like a lovely, loving dog, like no trouble, no ounce of evil in her at all, and it just don't feel fair. But like that's how it works, and yeah, we rescued her, gave her a good life, and that's as much as I can think. And yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to get into any more sad bits of it because there probably is more I could talk about that's sad, but that's a whole, like, almost a fifth of the podcast of talking about sad dead dog. Right. Anyway.
Well, I thought my day was going bad, but...
Why? What was bad about your day?
I don't know.
Well, speaking of bad days, though, I have also just had a bit of a bad day as well.
Oh, God.
Because it's not been too bad, but it's like I had to go into work today. So normally I work from home, but I had to go into work today because I had to set someone up using a printer. And normally to get there at about 9, I set off from my house at about 8:15. But today I had put off sort of, organising my stuff. So I had to pack my bag, I had to pack myself a bit of lunch, I had to put some petrol in my car as well, I had to fuel my car, so there were a few extra bits, so I was running maybe 5 minutes late, so I did quite well to be only running about 5 minutes late. And I was looking like I was actually going to make it pretty much on time, apart from the fact when I got really close to Leeds, which is like the city I work in, there was the biggest traffic jam I have ever seen in my life. There was definitely an accident. It weren't just traffic for the sake of it, because normally there's no traffic, to be honest, or like very minimal. And I shit you not, I was sat so long, I'd turned my car off, just waiting in this queue of traffic, and I was sat there for 2 hours. Just sat there, not moving at all, no movement. And I was just like, because I'm lucky that I'm in like a type of job where that doesn't really matter, in the sense that my boss ain't gonna like bollock me for it, and so long as I get my work done that I need to get done, he will be fine with it. It's not a problem, which is how people should be. But Jasmine just sent me a message saying, "Whoa, that's crazy." Oh, I think it's because I sent her some bees. It's not because she was listening to my story on the podcast.
Bees! In a box!
No, not in a video of some bees. I only just got what you said then.
You're like, whoa, that's crazy.
That would be pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm lucky that's the case, but it must have been a fucking massive accident. It was so bad that like they weren't just kind of clearing it up and then letting people past. They were directing people like the wrong way down a slip road, and they'd kind of closed off that section of the motorway. And it was crazy, and then there must have been like 7 lorries just blocking the motorway. Like, just fully blocking the thing so that people couldn't try and get round or whatever. I don't know. It was insane, but, like, I don't know. I kind of just sat there and listened to podcasts. I watched a few YouTube videos on my phone. It wasn't too bad, I suppose, but it was a bit annoying, because then I had to make sure I was, like, kind of rushing to get all my work done and that sort of thing. But I've also realised that my phone's kind of fucked. It doesn't really charge properly, and the screen's cracked, so I've had to order a new one of those. And for the first time ever, I've bought a budget smartphone, Judd.
Ooh,
nice. Budget smartphone, which is kind of crazy that like I feel old that I've got to the point where I'm like, I don't need all these newfangled doohickey features, I'm just like, I don't need none of that.
Exactly.
Cause it's crazy because I've had this phone like 2 or 3 years. It was an £800 phone when I bought it, top of the line type of deal, and now, only a few years later, I've spent £200, and I think the phone I'm getting is a tiny bit better than the phone I spent £800 on a few years ago, which is insane when you think about it. Like, I would have thought I'd have at least had to spend like £400 to £600, but no, if I spent that much, it would be definitely better. Yeah. It's a bit mental. You always buy like just whatever, don't you? You don't really care.
I'll just go into CEX and I'll just grab whatever. Like I've never really given a shit about phones. I thought recently, like now that I have like a proper job that can, you know, I can actually spend money on stuff. I have thought like, do I want to maybe think about getting like a nice phone and like properly sorting out my contract? But every time I'm just like, I don't care. If this ever breaks or something, which to be fair, I've had this for about over a year now, which is good for me in phones because
it really is. Normally you go through them every few months, don't you?
Yeah.
And then buy another one for like 80 quid or so.
Yeah. But that's not happened right now, so it's going all right.
Yeah, it's having this amount of money, like a decent amount of money to the point where I can save to put a deposit down on a house. I've never had that much money. Has made me realise that like it's fine to spend a lot of money on stuff because it's your money. You can spend it on what you want, but just only put like decent chunks of money into things that you're really into. Like if you're not really bothered about stuff massively, don't spend a lot of money on them. Just spend as much as you can get away with. Like, because I've realised, like, I used to be really into technology when I worked in IT before. I work in IT now, but I used to be properly into, like, the latest tech and that, and I would get a new top-of-the-range phone every year, and I did that for about 3 years. But now, I actually thought about what I actually care about to do with the phone, and that sort of thing, and what features I'm actually bothered about. Because the latest sort of feature that I find really cool is a fingerprint scanner that's inside the display, which is a really cool feature. I'd like to have it. I don't fucking need that at all. You know, a button fingerprint scanner's perfectly fine. There's no problem with that at all for me. And really, when I actually thought about it, what I want in my phone is a decent display. Doesn't need to be like insane, just decent enough to the point where I don't think this is a bit shit. So I'd want it to be 1080p. That's about it. Like I just want it to be at least 1080p. I want the battery life to be pretty decent. It don't have to be like the best out there, just has to be pretty good. And then I'd like it to have USB-C and, you know, reasonably fast charging rather than USB 2. So those are the only few things, and I've found a phone that has all three of those, and the screen is potentially even better because it's high refresh rate. Do you remember me telling you about how high refresh rate is probably better than a higher resolution?
Yeah,
make things smoother.
I probably just fucking blanked it though. It's like
when you asked me if like you could do 4K gaming, and I said you better get in a high refresh rate screen. To make use of how many FPS and that, but it's even got higher refresh rate. It's just weird that like getting older has brought on these realizations in a weird way. So yeah, do you have it? It made me sort of think about getting stuff when they come out, because I used to want to get the latest phone like when it came out, so I would have the best phone possible for as long as possible. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And do you even have anything nowadays where you would get it like as soon as it comes out, or like even pre-order something?
The only thing for me is just maybe a few games and maybe a couple Warhammer things, because you can pre-order like Warhammer stuff, usually like the rule books that are going to come out. Just that, pretty much. Everything else I sort of just don't care about. Like I'll see it. Usually it's like for a project, for like a Warhammer project, where I'll just be like, oh, I fancy doing this now, and then I'll focus on that for a bit, and then but really to fuel that hobby, I'm just grabbing everything of mine that I don't play with anymore, I don't want to spend time working on, and I'll sell that off. So it's, you know,
it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I feel like for me now, the only things I would want to get as soon as they come out or as a pre-order are things that are kind of like a phenomenon thing where you have to kind of do it while it's the trendy thing. So, for example, if you wanted to be in on the conversation of how good Borderlands 3 is, you'd have to get it when it comes out. That's kind of how it... But thinking about the types of things I enjoy, there's barely any of those things where I'm interested in the like wider conversation about it. So an example of something where I would be like Avengers Endgame. When that came out, definitely want to see it as soon as I can, avoid spoilers, talk about it with, my mates and that. That's something that I'm dead interested in. But you might think that Assassin's Creed, for example, or even the latest Spider-Man game, or even the Avengers game that came out, a bunch of games I've been really excited for. You might think I might pre-order those or get those as soon as they come out. But no, because I've got no one to talk to about them. I just sit. I like those for sitting and enjoying them on my own and in myself. So I don't need to get them as soon as they come out. I may as well get them when I come round to it, when I feel like it. And yeah, because then it ends up being cheaper. There's less pressure. There's less sort of anticipation. Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I sort of I'm still excited for Cyberpunk. That's nothing's upset me with Cyberpunk yet. And
I can see that game being shit. I'm just expecting it.
If it's shit, I'll just kill myself, so it's fine. But it's it's all right. That's the only thing I'm sort of looking forward to. So,
yeah,
looking forward to a tattoo, but I mean, we're not talking about tattoos.
Well, we can do.
Yeah, we can do.
So I mean, last week
tattoos. What? I've not booked a tattoo.
Good tease there, Jude. Well done. You did it. Perfect podcast. So I got a tattoo, and another one, and another one. Yeah, that's it. That's the right amount. That's the right amount. I was gonna say no, but just 3. So yeah, I got 3 tattoos in one. This is a podcast, so you're not gonna be able to see them. Have you seen them yet, Judd?
I have seen them. Yeah.
You've seen all of them. Did you see my Instagram post?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the tattoos?
I think the lightning in the bottle one looks shit. Not all of it. Not all of it looks shit. Most of it looks good, but the little like tail of the lightning bolt at the bottom just really looks like, I don't know. She's just done it a bit weird.
He. Yeah, it was a guy.
Okay, sorry. I thought because I put mine in with a woman. I thought.
Yeah, I know what you mean. She's good. She's done me before her. Well, I mean, she's done a tattoo on me. Oh no.
Yeah. So that I thought looked a bit shit. The taco looks absolutely shit. I'll just say that right now. That looked awful, that fucking taco. And what annoyed me more is that we had this whole conversation about the taco thing. You're like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get that design. And then you got that design.
No, I didn't want the tuxedo part. I didn't like that.
But it's still pretty much the same taco. But now he's like naked or something. I can't even remember.
He's not naked, but yeah, I guess. He's only wearing shoes. I think he's brilliant. I love it. He's just this little anthropomorphic taco stood there going, nah. And I think he encompasses my whole attitude to anyone who has a reaction to him. Like, anyone who looks at him and has that opinion, which has been most people, that's the kind of face I would pull to them. Like, ah.
You are autistic. I do think you are more autistic than I am.
So did you like the other one, though? Did you like the skeleton in the coffin?
Skeleton, yeah. I really liked the skeleton one. I thought that looked good.
Well, the artist who did them said that the taco and the skeleton are his 2 favourite tattoos he's ever done. So...
Maybe they're the first ones he's ever done, because he clearly hasn't got much experience.
He hasn't. He's the tattoo apprentice. He's only been doing it a year. But no, I like them. I'm very happy with all of them. Yeah, It's 3 tattoos. It's hard to explain them on a podcast when you can't really see them. You should follow my Instagram to see them. Do I have to tell people what my Instagram is for them to follow it? If you really want to see them, you can just guess it. That'll work. Or if you really want it, you can tweet at tweetsbadly and I'll post it on there. So yeah, a few tattoos. They were pretty good. My mum was not happy with me getting tattoos. Like she didn't like that I got one in such a prominent place. And it's this like skeleton lazing in a coffin. She didn't like that. And I think she was trying to say she didn't like the imagery of it for how prominent it is. But honestly, I just don't care. I think it's reflected in my tattoos a little bit in that I'm just not bothered about like what people think I say, and I just want to have a bit of fun with it, and I want to have a bit of fun with life, and that like that's all I really care about. I just want to have a bit of fun and like be a bit silly and not completely silly, you know, not like getting I bum Fortnite, yay, or something like, you know, but like just silly enough for it to be like, oh, that's fun little thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it reflects that a lot, and I think a lot of people don't really understand that. They think that tattoos have to be really serious, and again, we were saying, me and Jasmine were saying this, that and it seemed to be reflected in my mum, that a lot of people seem to think that when you get a tattoo, that it's constantly on your mind and it's constantly reminding you. But really, how often do you think about your tattoos?
Yeah, no, you forget about them most of the time.
Yeah, you just instantly forget. Like you forget they're there.
It's funny because like people come up to you and go, oh, what does that tattoo mean? And you go, oh, I've got a tattoo on me.
You just move your mic a little bit closer to you, Judd. And like when I got asked like, what do they mean? It's like, for starters, I can't be asked to explain it to you. Like I just don't.
Yeah, what I say is, first of all, who are you and how did you get in my house?
No, it's kind of like. When someone asks me to explain a tattoo to them, for starters, I've not like got some massive deep meaning into it. It's just the type of it just resonates with me quite a bit. But also, it's not for you to get anyway. I don't care if you get it. I get it, and that's kind of what matters. And but equally, I think that people expecting of you to have like some meaning behind it and expecting you to like potentially want to tell them about it, I don't know, it don't piss me off, but it kind of feels a bit to me, you know, it's kind of a bit like so yeah, I'll describe it. I got a skeleton lazing in a coffin with like a flower next to it. They're all fairly traditional style, black and grey. I got lightning in a bottle, like sort of like a old style sort of, I don't know, what would you say that is? Old style bottle thingy, jar thingy.
Right, sorry, I'm gonna start with that now. It's almost Betty Boop era sort of cartoons. There's a word for it, but
this is not a good description of what I mean. A bit like an old style scientific vial, but squashed, like a bit like a mason jar. I thought
you were talking about the taco.
Oh no! The taco is it's like, I guess, kind of really old school cartoon type of design.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Mickey Mouse, you know, like what's it called, Steamboat Willie or whatever.
Yeah.
That sort of design, but with it's like that sort of look, Cuphead. That sort of look.
Yeah.
But on like an Adventure Time character. That's the kind of the way I describe it.
Adventure Time character that, and then it'd make some like sort of really rapey reference, and you'd sort of just think, what is my kid watching? This
taco character I've got tattooed on me could have been in that fantasy episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been surprised. But to my surprise, I sent you a picture of the logo of the tattoo studio, because I know we've got a bit of a soft spot for that tattoo studio at this point, haven't we?
Yeah.
And to my surprise, right before I was about to get tattooed, the manager like came up to ask the guy who was tattooing me something and said, "Oh, and your brother's coming, by the way." And I thought he were talking to him, but then he were looking at me, and I went, what, mine? And he was like, yeah, yours. I'm like, oh, all right. What a fucking idiot. So, like,
Yeah,
what happened? Because I thought you'd gone in to, like, just surprise me and say hello or something, and you just so happened to book a tattoo.
Yeah, what did happen? Is I was at that time, because you sent me a picture of like the logo to the tattoo parlor.
Hmm.
At that time, I had just finished. I'd been collecting a load of scrap copper from work, like that was just being thrown away anyway, and I'd just finished selling it all in a place like fairly close to it. So you sent me that, and I was like, "Oh, Jake's in the tattoo parlor. I'll just go in and I'll sit in with him for a bit."
Mm.
So I got there, and I'm like, "Oh, my brother's in a session. Would I be all right to go up and sit in with him?" And it's like, "You can't because of COVID." And I'm like, "Well, fucking hell, shit." I had a mask and everything, but it's just
Mm.
it was you weren't allowed. It was policy.
He
So
didn't
I
even
was
tell
like,
me that. He didn't tell me that, like, you'd come try and sit in with me. Or I think he might have, but he'd not described it well. So I didn't know what was going on.
No, I was like, oh, Jake's going having a tattoo. I'll go sit in with him for a bit, and I couldn't. He said you can sit out like in the little waiting area upstairs and
Yeah.
wait for him to finish. And I was like, oh, how long? Do you know how long it's going to be? And he went up and asked, and then he said, going to be all day. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, oh well, I'm not going to sit there all day. I said if it's like an hour or something, I'll wait. But yeah. So I came in to see you, and then I thought, I'd just sold my copper, and I'm like, oh, I've been wanting a fucking tattoo for ages. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get one, booking one. So I booked a tattoo.
Big Dirty Spencer hosting the stream with 1 million viewers. Nice one. Judd's booked a dirty tattoo. They told me what you're getting. Would you like to reveal what it is, where you're getting it, that sort of thing?
I am getting, if people know who this character is, I'm going to be getting a tattoo of Claptrap from Borderlands, and
Wow.
I'm gonna be getting it on my leg, on my calf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm
bottom
gonna
bit,
get it
the smaller
Yeah,
bit. Full colour?
Yes, full colour.
Yeah, you'd have to get full colour for Claptrap, wouldn't you? It'd look a bit weird otherwise. Got to get those yellow hues in. Have you seen any of the work? 'Cause, I think the artist is called Dozy. I think she's the only. Oh wait, there might be another girl there actually.
I don't know if it was Dozy. Hold on, wait. Do I have the? I have the card on me. I don't know if they will have wrote down. Which do I have the card on me?
Have you seen any of her tattoos? Was she like? God, I hate describing it like this. I only saw 2 girls there. One of them was slightly bigger than the other. Not that I'm saying either of them were fat. That's not what I'm saying. But that's the only way I can think to define either of them. They were both similar, like, vibes.
Here we go.
Both like, tattooed
Dozy.
women.
Yeah, Dozy. It was Dozy.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah. He showed me her stuff, and I was like, "That's fucking sick." And he said she's looking forward to that one because she, it's almost like her style. And actually, if she wanted to do it more in the style that was shown to me, I think I'd actually really like that. Like, not actually, not bang on like cell shaded Borderlands artwork. If it was the way she likes doing it, I think I'd probably actually prefer that.
Well,
So
I've sent you her Instagram. What I wouldn't like say that to her. Because I think naturally people end up kind of just doing a bit of their own style, even when they're trying to emulate another style. I'll send you a link to I've sent you a link to her page, and then a link to an image of a tattoo she's done on someone's hands of BB-8 and Pikachu. And then like that's sort of style that that she'll probably end up doing, and it'll look sort of like that. It looks really good. See, it's on the hands as well. It's kind of like, I don't know. I suppose it's like color. Almost neo-traditional, like American traditional in a way, but a bit more kind of.
I think I've seen her about.
A bit more kind of cartoony than that, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty traditional though. It's a pretty traditional tattoo shop.
I think she did my BioShock chains. I can't really remember.
Did you get them done at Smoky Sam's with BioShock chains?
Yeah.
How many of your tattoos are going to be from video games at this point?
I mean, you could technically say all of them because, the chainsaw. No, I mean the skeleton key wouldn't be, I guess. But I could have said that the J is from Arkham Knight.
You could, but it's not.
It's not, but yeah, a fair amount. Then the one after that, the one I want to get for my Christmas present, wouldn't be.
Yeah,
but,
Lovecraft type stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Nice. Tattoos are good. I have got. It does become a bit of an itch because like I want some more like already. It's really fun and I think it's really fun because it makes you feel more. It's a bit of weird, maybe even cringy to say, but it makes you feel more complete. It really does. Like if you know you want to have plenty of tattoos, it makes you feel closer to being who you want to be, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. Do you want to know another fun story, Judd?
Oh, is it as fun as the first one you told?
Oh no, it's not. Well, so my bedroom used to, as you'll know, I had a bunk bed for years because my bedroom's not. Well, it's actually pretty big, I would say, for like where we live and that sort of thing. I suppose it's about the same size as the room you're in at the minute. In fact, yours might be a bit bigger, but it's not massive.
Oh,
no, not the room you're in at the minute. The bedroom, your bedroom
right.
at the minute. The room you're in at the minute, not so much. But I used to have a bunk bed so that I could have more room on my more floor space to put like a music production desk, a gaming and video production desk, and keep all my guitars, all that sort of thing. That bunk bed kind of broke because I was.
Fucking your girlfriend.
Yeah, that might be why. Well, yeah, it kind of broke. The slats in it were like cracking in the middle. It was made of metal, and they were starting to crack. So I needed to sort that out. So I basically took it down. I have a mattress on the floor now instead, and I've rearranged things. And yeah, but I whenever I wanted to stroke the salami as has been said on American Pie.
Your throbbing cock, as they say.
I've always had a tendency to not clean up after myself.
Oh my god!
Like pretty much at all. Gonna be honest, this is very gross.
That's awful.
So the problem is, it's quite visible on the wall. That was like
spunk's a bit viscous.
There was a lot of it visible on the wall, like behind where that bed was, like right next to that bed. So I
bet your mum saw it and she knew.
I've tried to clean it off. Doesn't. Just straight up won't. So, thing is, right. Well, so my solution was, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of posters. So I bought a lot of big posters, and they're kind of covering up most of it. But I need to get some more to cover it all, to just cover that entire wall. Because oh no, it's not good. It's not good. There is an extra problem to it though, because the roof is the most visible bit. Because obviously it was a bunk bed, it was really close to the roof.
I should clarify this really quick. He hasn't got like an incredible jet of semen shooting out of his cock.
No, it's just because it's been from about almost 10 years.
Yeah. Also, like his bunk bed was it was like
really close to the ceiling,
pressed up against the ceiling. So
yeah, incredible jet. But yeah, I don't know what to do about the roof.
Don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to clean up.
I need some hints, Jude. What do I do? I can cover up the wall, but the roof's bad because it's white, and now it looks yellow.
I think you should cover up this problem with another problem. So put like, I don't know, get like a poster or something like really sort of off-putting, like a
pin-up girl or something.
like a topless Daniel Radcliffe, and like have that on your roof, and then when your mum will come in, she'll be like, "Oh, what's that?" and just go, "Yeah, mum, I need to tell you, I think I'm gay, but only for Daniel Radcliffe." She'll go, "Right," and then that's a new thing. That's a new situation. So she can't
be offended at.
Yeah,
but she wants to avoid it.
and she wants to fuck. She goes, all right, does your girlfriend know? Oh, I've not told her yet. Don't tell her, Mum. Don't tell her, please, please. I'll not tell her.
She just thinks I really like Harry Potter. That's what she thinks.
She just thinks I really like Harry Potter, and she'll go, okay, all right, love. Dinner's at 7, and then she'll leave. and it's sorted. It's sorted because now that's the issue.
Yeah, great. I'm glad that's the issue instead.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, if anyone has any top tips on to how to deal with this issue, please let us know at Tweets Badly. That'll be a great thing to see on Twitter.
How do I sort out the massive amount of cum on my? It's from like stalactites, like you're getting a coffee.
It has tiny ones. But
What? Fucking semen stalactite.
But oh dear, this feels like a problem that you'd post on some Reddit forum, like some sort of Reddit would be for those issues. I don't know what Reddit it would be, but yeah.
There'll be one.
Jesus. What's worrying me a lot about it is that when I move out, which is looking like it will be within 2 years. Definitely. Within 2 years I'll be moving out. My sister wants this room to be her room then. So, what's
gonna be asleep and a bitch is gonna break off?
No, no. I'm fucking. She needs to repaint. Like, if that's gonna be the case, she's gonna have to repaint all the walls, rip up the carpet, and put down a new carpet as well. You've seen the state of this carpet. There's been a blue stain on my carpet for at least 5 years from when you spilt a WKD blue on it, from when you spilt a blue drink on it, and it's just I did nothing. Just didn't do a thing. Because the thing is, to me, I just don't care. Like, what's the problem? It's still carpet in it. It's like still works.
Still carpet in it.
Still carpeting. It's like that bit's blue. Okay, that's as far as I'm concerned. It's still trucking.
It adds
still doing its job.
It adds character. It's like people are then gonna go, "What's this blue stain?" And you say, "Oh, it's from when my retard of a brother dropped fucking WKD on it." It's a story.
Yeah, here's the picture on my wall to show it.
Here's a picture on the wall of him half naked throwing up on a toilet.
There's a brilliant picture of you that I've put up. Oh, let me describe. So I put up a new sort of like batch of photos on my wall recently. So I figured I could describe a few that's just been put up. There's one of you when we filmed the music video. Like I'll tell you all the ones that have been put up of you. Then there's the one of you where you're dressed like that guy from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I took a Polaroid of it. Oh, he's frozen. He just doesn't care that much that he's frozen and decided to leave. Okay, well, this is going well. Should we see what's going on? Should we rejoin the call? What a professional podcast. Here we go. Ta-dum. Will it work? This is the anticipation. This is why you listen.
It was me.
Oh,
it was me.
It was you.
Okay.
You
so it was.
retard.
You've got one of me dressed as Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing, yeah?
Yeah, got that one. Then there is there's a picture. Do you remember when there was a gay bar in the town near us? They got rid of that real quick, didn't they? It was shit. Like, if it was a good gay bar, then it might have stayed. But it was really bad. It weren't a good bar.
It was like shit, yeah.
But there's a picture of when we went in there of you stood next to one of the like topless buff waiters in there. These
I remember that.
You looking really pleased with yourself next to this really burly man, really attractive guy, but and him looking like, this is a picture. That's a good one. There's a picture of me, you, and Dad when we went shooting.
I need to explain myself with that picture. We went in because I was like, we were going past it, and I was like, Jake, let's go in here. And you're a bit like, oh no, I don't want to go in there. And I went, come on, it'll be a good story. Let's go in here. And you're like, all right, okay. So I got you in. It was a shit bar. I'll be the first to say it was a shit bar. But there were this guy who was walking around, and he, as a waiter, he was topless, and he was fucking ripped. And I think you probably were like, oh, is that doing anything for you? And I was like, yeah, it is. So you want to be, you want to be completely honest. Like, you should take a picture with him. And I'm like, I'm not gonna ask this guy for a fucking picture. He must hate, this that's going on. He doesn't need me asking him for a picture. So anyway, you went up to him and said, "Can my brother take a picture with you?"
Of course I did.
And I'm like, great, now I look like the arsehole. So so I ended up having a picture with this guy, and he wasn't happy about it.
You know, I say stupid shit all the time.
I know.
There's also like I said, there was a picture of me, you, and Dad when we went shooting, and his beard is so white on it. It's crazy. Yeah. He's old. You look fucking young on there as well, because you've got no beard. You've got this pretty slightly longer hair than you do now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you look really young. You look like you should not be allowed to hold a gun, but in actual fact, you're older than 18 there. You'd be what, like 19, 20 there?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I should be allowed to hold a gun now. But
I know. Do you remember when Dad first started doing clay pigeon shooting? He'd gone a few times. Then he asked you if you wanted to go, and obviously Dad was really bad, but like not. I suppose he weren't like. He was a beginner, so he was going to be bad. And then you went, and your first time you went, you just blew his high score out of the water with his shots and that. And they were like, "Oh my god, he's really good. He's naturally brilliant." And that was really good. And then he took me, and I got like a couple more, not like way more, but like I got a couple more. And then rather than being to our dad like, oh, both your kids are really naturally good at this. That's really good. Do you want to see if they want to come more? They were more like, your kids are suspiciously good at this. What have they been doing?
Don't like this.
Don't like how well they know how to handle this gun. Like they've never done this before, yet they're really good at this.
Yeah, I think there was some sort of like anxiousness about it, because they're like, right, okay, here's how you handle a gun. I'm like, I know, keep it uncocked. Don't have your finger on the trigger. Don't aim it towards people. Don't walk around with it loaded. I know how to aim. I know how to shoot. I know how to handle recoil. Fucking, they fired the first two off. Bam, bam, got them both in a row. They're going,
oh no. Yeah, it was weird. I only went a couple times. And I understood why people like it. Some of those guys did like normal hunting as well, which I wouldn't do that. That doesn't sound fun. Sounds very tedious and kind of frankly boring. But the clay pigeon shooting was pretty fun and weirdly relaxing. For like these really loud guns, and say there's a bunch of deadly weapons, like a bunch of like 12 guys holding a bunch of deadly weapons. It was really chill, It's quite fun.
It's really nice.
So yeah, I can definitely say it's not something I would like to get into regularly, but I think our dad's not really doing it anymore either, is he? Especially at the minute. But
I think he goes a couple times, but I'll always remember going to like a sort of bigger one. Me and him went to like a bigger one a while back, and I'll always remember like when I was there, like I'd be fine with like the shooting going off around me, but every now and again there'd be a shot that'd be like, it wouldn't be just like a random shot all of a sudden. It'd just be part of all the other shots. And that one shot, I'd just go, well, that made me jump that. Like, with no reasoning. Like, it happened a couple times. That just like, there'd be a single shot where I go, oh, God, that scared the shit out of
me. Oh, dear. Well, I'm not surprised, because there was... I remember, did Dad tell you about this one time he nearly blew a bloke's leg off doing that?
And... yeah, I was there.
Were you? Yeah. Go on, you tell it then, because I was going to describe it, because when he told me, I was like, what the fuck?
I was there, and we went down to this sort of little quarry bit, and it was Dad's turn to shoot, and what he's done is he's put the shells in the shotgun, and then he's loaded it, but as he's loaded it, he's had his finger in front of the trigger, so
yeah.
He's loaded it. It snapped into position. The trigger's come forward. His fingers caught it, and then it's knocked the trigger back. So it's fired. So he's had it down, pointing almost at his foot,
Yeah.
but just a bit higher than it, and fired. So
Yeah,
it's just
right at the ground, right in front
right
of
at
him.
the ground, while the dude was stood next to him, and also he could have shot himself right in the foot.
Literally.
I thought it was hilarious.
And what was everyone else like?
They're like fucking hell, he uncocked his gun and was like, and they started telling me what he'd done, and I was literally just stood there going.
No one else was laughing, were they?
A few people laughed after, but like I immediately started laughing, and I had to like stop myself. But yeah, he could have blown his fucking leg off. He could have easily cut, like
imagine
his foot out or his like knee or something.
And the thing is, the way shotguns work, his foot would have been gone. His foot would have just been melted off. He would have had no foot. It would have been in a wheelchair essentially.
Yeah.
From that, I think something else I'd learned from it is people underestimate, and I think it's due to video games. People underestimate the range on shotguns. Yeah. Shotguns are not a close quarters weapon. They're not at all. They're just an easy to use weapon because rather than having to make one bullet go where you want, you can make like 10 go in the general direction, and some of them will hit it.
The thing is, it's not. It has a certain range where, like, you're probably still going to hit your target, but if you're talking about a person, you're probably not going to kill them. You'll hurt them, and you'll probably stagger them, but like you'll need to be close enough to. Should I be saying this on a podcast?
No, it's fine. No. The thing is, think about you could easily hit someone from 200 meters away with a double barrel shotgun and it'd be a deadly blow. It wouldn't necessarily kill them straight away, but they would bleed out very quick before someone could
they'd probably eventually bleed out. But,
and 200 meters, that's a pretty long ass way, and you could hit them very easily. Like it wouldn't be hard if you shot a shotgun on a few times on a few different days, you would be good enough to hit someone at about 200 meters, and it'd be deadly. 300 meters or so, you might miss.
But let's just say hypothetically you're in a school, okay?
No, so we're not doing the school. But I think a lot of people, because of video games, think you have to be only like a few meters away for a shotgun to be effective. No, that's going to be effective for a long ass way. Like we were shooting stuff that were 200-300 meters, and it's like a plate that we were shooting, not a full size human, a plate. That you eat off. And I remember one time I was there was this I can't remember what they're called, the things that shoot the clay pigeons. It shot this disc, and it was shooting across, because sometimes they have them where it shoots sort of like where the thing's next to it and it just kind of shoots away from you, and those are kind of a bit easier because they're in the general same line, whereas some of them they shoot across your field of vision, and you kind of have to track it and shoot it at the right time. Those are the harder ones. And I'd left one of those while really late and shot it like on the far left, so it was going from right to left of my vision. And I'd left it so late that it like, and I hit it right before it was about to like drop below this hill where I won't be able to see it anymore. Yeah. But also I'd hit it like just next to another one of the machines that like flings the clay discs out. So I almost destroyed one of the machines that holds all of this and shot like 100 of them while being in that machine. Luckily I missed it and actually, hit the one I was supposed to. It's pretty fun thing. I think for me, I see it as a type of thing where it might be fun to do a couple times a year, for like a bit of like why don't we go and do shooting today? If that's possible, but normally you kind of have to be part of a group that goes regularly, which makes sense because you're handling very deadly machines, so it's like you can't just do it when you feel like it's not like golf. Anyway, finish off these photos. I've got some cute photos of me and you when we were children. I'd have been like 6. You'd have been, 3, 4? Something like that. Those are fairly cute. There's a picture of you with Joker makeup on, wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
Should we just talk about my pictures, because they're the fucking best?
Those are the only ones I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, alright, that's fine then. Yeah, keep going.
There's a picture somewhere, I don't know where it is, that I've put up recently of... Do you remember when we bumped into, like on that same night out, we bumped into, like, a couple who were, like, on about cooking or something? I don't... Not, like, cooking food. Oh, yeah, there it is. And it was on that same night, he was dressed as Joker as well, and was, like, skinnier, tiny bit shorter than me, but a bit taller than you.
Like, Heath Ledger's... Yeah.
Yeah, he was dressed like that, and she was dressed like Harley Quinn. And they were just on about some weird shit, and I said, let's have a photo. I just thought, I'll just take a photo of him with him. Was
it the guy? I think I was in, like, I went into the toilets, and he was in there, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we were both dressed as the Joker, and I went, I got a joke for you. 2 clowns walk into a toilet.
I don't know if that was the same guy, but this girl who was like, they were obviously like edgy couple, sort of like, you know, skinny drug boy and e-girl type of couple, and I was like, I don't know why, I was doing one of my weird things I do, and I was like, let's have a photo, thanks to Crazy Chaff Jay for hosting just then. And immediately this girl pulls the Belle Delphine face for the photo. I was like, perfect. Of course she does that.
To be honest with you, can't you remember taking this photo? Can't remember.
Well, you'll see it on my wall next time you're here. What else have we got?
You sent me on Facebook.
Speaking of you being really drunk, we've got that picture when you were smashed. I'd gone to watch the Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder boxing match. It started at 3 a.m, that card, and their fight started at 5 a.m. But you came in to the bar that I was watching it in at 4 a.m. because you'd been drinking. Yeah. You were like trying to tell me that you'd lost your earphones, and I was I took a picture of you and zoomed in to show you where they were, and you'd tied them in as your new shoelaces.
I was fucked. I mean, I was steaming. I've never been that drunk in my life.
And the funny thing was, I showed you then, but also the next, like, I don't know if it was the next day or a few days after, you were like, do you remember whether I had my earphones on me when you saw me when I was drunk? Because I think I lost them on that night out. And I just sent you that photo I took of you and the zoomed in crop of them being on your shoe.
I was fucked. Like, I can't remember who I went out with. I can't remember where I'd been, but I do remember stumbling. I remember stumbling into the Garrison. And I were fucked, and I'm like, I didn't know what planet I was on. I saw you, I stumble up to your table, I'm like, where are my fucking earphones? I tied them in to my shoelace. You're like, you're there.
Well,
and I'm
the
like,
bouncer weren't letting you in to start with, was he? And then you eventually snuck in by accident. Like, the bouncer just sort of left his post. And then he were like trying to get you to leave, and he said that you could stay so long as you didn't drink any more alcohol and drunk a glass of water. So
I don't even remember that. Well, this was a bouncer trying to get me out.
Yeah, he weren't letting you in. He was saying you were just too drunk. He was right. But anyway, Crazy Chaff J, it's the day before his birthday, Judge. So do you want to wish him happy birthday?
Happy birthday. I hope by this age you've realised that everything is just awful and you should probably have killed yourself by now. But happy birthday,
is the joke music playing? Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh. So
it's not a joke.
So yeah, that was funny. Yeah, did you realise on that day you were dressed in entirely black? You had a black blazer, black shirt, black jeans, black shoes. Oh, was it fucking Halloween? Speaking of Halloween, that's soon.
I was that fucked I can't even remember what gender I wore.
We'll probably do some Halloween talk next month, next podcast.
That would have been
and all that.
the third joke 5 years ago. Now it's quite real.
And the last sort of Judd photos I've got on my wall are another night out, but this time it was with me, and it was the night out where you let me choke you out in one of the pubs.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's quite funny because there's 2 photos, because someone was like taking multiple photos to, like, you know, make sure they captured it. And basically what happened was, you said I could do it. I'd got you in this chokehold, and And you kind of panicked right before you're about to go to sleep, and you just started going and slapping your hands on me. So there's a photo of you slapping your hands on my arm, and then a photo of you like passed out under my arm. So yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Jesus Christ. That honestly, that nights out, like proper nights out, is what I miss the most about this corona and stuff. Because really, with a lot of stuff that is fun to do, you can just kind of go and do it so long as you're not worried about the virus. If you have an attitude of, I'm not worried about the virus anymore, I'm just going to go and do what I'm allowed to do, you can still go and do pretty much everything you want to do, but you just can't have a proper night out anymore. It just don't work. And it won't do for a while. Crazy Chaff says, speaking of Halloween, there's a blue moon that happens every 19 years. Oh, shit.
And is that happening on Halloween?
I'm guessing so, from what he said. You're Googling it now, aren't you? If that's the case...
Oh my god, it is!
Halloween is on a Saturday as well, so I think we should buy a shit ton of Blue Moon, because it'll not be long after my payday either, so we should buy a lot of Blue Moon and get very drunk on Blue Moon while sitting on my aquarium looking at the Blue Moon, and on Halloween.
The song Blue Moon.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be really good. Someone remind us to do that, because we'll forget. Right, that's a podcast, everyone. It's ended up being a decent one. We went from my dog's died to looking back on fond memories. So there you go. That's a podcast. Stick around if you're watching the live stream, because we will continue that. But the podcast has ended. Say goodbye, Judd.
Bye.
Oh, fucking hell. Try and be happy.
No.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's where I ended. Oh shit! I accidentally hit the wrong button.